I hope most of the people attending online class. Huh? Good morning, online students. Good morning, online students. Are you there? Please respond. Am I visible? Am I audible? That's good. Okay, guys. By default, whenever I add Spring JDBC starter, Spring Boot starter JDBC, what is the connection pool we are getting? Hikari CP. It's a best, no doubt. It's a good, it's best. Somehow, I'm not happy with Hikari CP. My project leader or team leader wants to work with some other than Hikari CP connection pool. What should I do? That is what we are going to talk first. Later, we are going to discuss about how all these bins are picked up automatically as part of auto configuration. There should be some process, no? It is not making every class as Spring Bean. It is making only particular classes as Spring Beans, right? We are adding so many jars. In so many jars, so many classes. Does it making all the classes as Spring Beans? No. Only few classes as the Spring Beans, right guys? Only few and specific classes as what? A Spring Bean. Are you understanding my statement, guys? So that means there is some mechanism and we need to find out that mechanism. So today class is more on auto configuration, especially data source related auto configuration. Are you ready to listen the class, guys? Okay, first of all, let me launch the Eclipse IDE. Here I launched Eclipse IDE. Now listen carefully, guys. In Spring Boot 2.x or 3.x version, uses the following algorithm while creating data source object through auto configuration process. When relevant starters are jar files are called. When relevant what is that? Starters are jar files are called. Spring JDBC starter, Spring Data JPA starter. When these starters are available, okay, this algorithm will be utilized. First priority it will give to what? Hikari CP. If not available, Tomcat CP. If Hikari CP jars are not available, it will try to use what? Tomcat CP. Okay, guys. Apache DBCP2. If Hikari CP, Tomcat CP jars are not found, then it uses what? Apache DBCP2. If all the three jars are not found, it will try to look for what? Oracle UCP, Universal Connection Pool. So these are the part of standard algorithm. First priority to Hikari CP. If Hikari CP jars are not there, Tomcat CP jars are there. Tomcat CP. If these two jars are not there, Apache TPCP jars are there, it will give priority to this. Now, if all the three jars are not there, Oracle UCP jars are there, then it will give to what? Oracle UCP connection pool. Let us assume all the four jars are available, then it uses what? Quite common now, boss. Definitely it uses what, guys? Hikari CP. Okay, to enable Tomcat CP data source in Spring Boot application. To enable Tomcat CP data source in Spring Boot application, guys. Okay, now tell me, guys, am I adding Hikari CP related jar file explicitly? When I add Spring Boot starter JDBC, automatically Hikari CP jars are coming. Okay, is it coming as a main jar file or dependent jar file? I am adding Spring Boot starter JDBC as the main jar file. As a dependent jar or relevant jar, it is coming now. If I comment Spring Boot starter JDBC, all main dependent relevant jar file will disappear. But right now, you want to disappear total starter, only Hikari CP jar files are. I want to enjoy main jar file, but I don't want to work with one of the relevant or dependent jar file. For that purpose, in Maven, there is a concept called exclude jar. What guys? Exclude option. Okay, you want to see that? I think this is our this one. Launch it. Yeah, this is our mini project numbers. What is a mini project here? This is our mini project, right? Okay. I'm taking the copy of the mini project. Layered application mini project. Data source configuration. What configuration? Data source configuration. Say copy. Yeah. Data source configuration. What's the project number? 6. What's the project number? 6, guys. Okay. Now, look at the Maven dependencies. I just added Spring JDBC starter. It is automatically giving Hikari CP jar file numbers where I can show that. Second one only Hikari CP jar numbers. Am I adding that one in pom.xml file separately? Look at this. In pom.xml, am I adding Hikari CP jar file separately, my dear? Not at all. Is there any word called Hikari CP, guys? Not there. I added this starter. As part of that, we got the Hikari CP. If I comment this one, total main dependent relevant jar file will disappear. Right now, you want to listen, lose all the jar file or one of the dependent jar file. Then what is the option I should use? Exclude option. So how to do that exclude option? You need not write the tags, guys. Go to dependency hierarchy. This is the main jar file now, boss. In that one, Hikari CP is there as a relevant or dependent jar file. Right click on it. There is an option called exclude. Say OK. There is an option called exclude. Say OK. I want reply, my dear. Come on. This is my pom.xml file, guys. This is my form.xml file. Here is what? Exclusion. Okay, this is my what? Exclusion. Okay, now you just save this. Now you go to Maven dependencies list. Here, Hikari CP disappeared or not? The Hikari CP got disappeared or not? I want reply, my dear. Here the Hikari CP got completely disappeared or not? I want reply, my dear. So definitely got disappeared, no doubt in that. Are you getting my point there or not there? Super. Next one, what is there? Okay, guys. Next one, what is? Now, Hikari CP jar gone. Now I have to keep Tomcat CP jar, na? Yeah, that you have to collect from. That you have to collect from where? Maven. mvnrepository.com. Here, what is the name of the jar file, guys? Tomcat CP. Okay, that's it. Okay, here what is the jar file name? Tomcat JDBC. Whatever the version you take, okay, you select these guys, come to this place. Here I am adding as a separate dependency. Version you need not to place. Based on the Spring Boot version, the version will be picked up automatically. So now you observe in Maven dependencies. Now you observe in Maven dependencies, Tomcat CP, Ikari CP jar gone, but in that place, Tomcat JDBC jar has come now, boss. Tomcat JDBC jar has come now, boss. I want reply from people. Okay, sir, how to prove that? Right now, when I run the application, it is working with what? Tomcat CP. Very simple, boss. Go to any DAO class. In fact, I am going to both DAO classes, okay? Because I don't know which DAO I am going to use. Okay. Here, tell me here what I am doing. Sysout. Tell me. Data source object class name. ds.get class. Data source object class name. ds.get class name. Are you getting my point there or not? Super. Employee Arakil DAO. Super was. Tell me here. What is this? Paste. Data source object class name DAO ds.get class. Super guys. So now let's run the application, guys. Let's run the application. Right click, run as Java application. Enter name, run one, designation, salesman, salary 9,000, department number 10, employee registered. But you look at the message, guys. Oh, I will tell. I have placed it, but I have placed it in wrong method, boss. Okay, because I kept get employee by designation, but right now what code is executing? Only record insertion code is executing, right? Record insertion code is executing. That's why it is not coming properly. Okay, let's go to insert method. Insert employee method. All right. Save this. Okay. Right click. Run as Java application. Suresh guys. Designation, what is there? Clerk. 89,000. Department number 10. Okay guys. What is this? Tomcat.jdbc.data source. That means it is using Tomcat CP or not, guys? Okay. See what are the steps I have given to enable Tomcat CP data source in Spring Boot application. Tell me, guys. Exclude Ikari CP jar file from class path by using what tags? By using what tag, guys? Exclusion tag, right guys? On spring-boot-starter JDBC dependency as shown below. Go to dependency hierarchy tab. Right click on what, guys? Ikari CP jar file. Select exclusion. Just follow the procedure. Then you will get the exclusion tag like this or not. Then you will get exclusion tag like this or not, guys. I want reply, my dear. Super boss. Tell me next one. Add Tomcat CP jar file to class path as a dependency in pom.xml file. Simply as a dependency in what? Pom.xml file. Are you getting my point there or not? Super. Here run the client application. Here we should run the client application or not? Super. Oh, okay. Tell me next one. To enable Apache DBCP to data source in Spring Boot application, guys. Okay, now I want to enable what? Apache DBCP2. Best is Ikari CP, guys. Only for knowledge sake, I am telling how to work with remaining things. Okay, now make sure that Ikari CP jar is not there. Tomcat CP jar is not there. But you have to add what, guys? Apache DBCP2 jar. So what should I do? Already Ikari CP jar is not there, right? We commented through exclusion comp. Now I'm also commenting this one now, boss. Done. I'm also commenting this one. After that, what next? After that, what next, guys? Apache DBCP2, guys. Next. Yeah, how to get this one? See, maximum people prefers using Akari CP. If team leader or project leader says, I have problem with Akari CP, I want to work with what? Other connection pools. Then first priority you should give to algorithm connection pool. 4 are there. If Ikari CP jar is not there, it looks priority to Tomcat CP. Both the jars are not there, Apache DBCP. 3 jars are not there, it will give priority to Oracle UCP. Right, guys? Okay. So now I have to search for what here? I have to search for what, guys? Apache DBCP2. I'm using this website for so many days. That's why they are there in the history. But don't think that for you also history should come like that. Okay. So this is Apache DBCP2, guys. Version is not so important because version will be decided based on the Spring Boot version. You can happily remove the version over here. So now I can remove the version over here now, boss. Yes, definitely. Okay, done, guys. Now let's run the application. Right click, guys, run as Java application. Yeah, what's happening? Could not resolve the placeholder DAO.id in DAO.id. All of a sudden, what is this problem? Maybe changes are not recognized properly. Okay. What is this? Previously, it got executed nicely, na? Apache DBCP commons, yes. Commons, Oracle OJDBC 11. Okay, look at this. It is pointing to which one, guys? MySQL driver and MySQL this one. Okay, no problem. Right click, guys, run as Java application. Okay. Sometimes changes won't be recognized, guys. Now next one. Okay, guys. Designation class, salary what? 1,000, guys. Department number 20. Employee registered. What's the data source this time? Basic data source DBCP2. That means it is using Apache DBCP2 now, boss. If all 3 charts are not there, Oracle UCP jar is added, then it will work with Oracle UCP related connection pool or not. Okay, guys. Now I am commenting this one also. Which one? Okay. Comment this. Now I have to add what? Oracle UCP related jar or not, guys? What is this? Oracle UCP. Click on search. Oracle UCP, click on search. Go for this. Go for this. Are you understanding my statement, boss? Come on. Super, guys. Here is the remove. Save this. Yeah, Oracle UCP related jar is added or not, guys? Super. Shall we run the application? Before that, clean the project once. Before that, clean the project once. Click on it. Super boss. Enter name, Suresh. Designation, what is there? Clerk. What is the number, guys? 90,000. What's the department, guys? 20. Employee is registered. Employee is registered. What is this? Pool data source IMPL. What's data source IMPL, guys? Pool data source IMPL. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Okay, guys. So pool data source IMPL, what's the package name? UCP.jdbc. That means it is using Oracle UCP or not, guys? So now what I do is, I'll make sure that all the jars are there. I'll make sure that all the jars are there. Remove this. Remove this. Come on. Exclusion tag also I am commenting, guys. Exclusion tag also I am commenting. That means all the 4 jars are there now. Hikari CP jar, Tomcat CP jar, Apache DBCP2 jar. Next one what? Oracle UCP jar. All the jars are there or not there? But when all the jars are there, first priority will come to Hikari CP. Let's see, guys. Clean the project once. What's the name, guys? Kishore. Designation, clerk. Salary, 8,000. What's the department? 10. Employee registered. What is the coming here? Hikari data source. What's the data source, guys? Simply, what's the data source? That means first priority to Hikari, second priority to Tomcat CP, third priority to Apache DBCP2, and fourth one to Oracle UCP. But most regularly used one is what? Hikari CP. Because it's a best performance. Okay, default one. So that's why you need not to worry about other thing. But if interviewer asks, or if some particular company manager says, I have problems with Hikari CP, let's use Apache DBCP2. In that situation, it is useful or not there? You need not to configure @bean method. Okay, by writing the object creation for Hikari CP1 or what? Apache DBCP2 one. They are part of the algorithm. You should know how to activate and deactivate. That's good. To enable Apache DBCP2, what to do, I discussed, guys. Right. But listen, guys. The Hikari data source, Hikari CP data source, always good to use because it gives great performance. But we are learning. But we are learning other data source configuration purely for what? Knowledge sake. Purely for knowledge sake. Okay. Spring Boot starter JDBC jar file gives only Hikari CP jar file as the relevant jar file. The remaining data source related jar file will not come as what? Relevant jar file. So we need to add them manually. To enable Oracle UCP, make sure that Hikari CP, Tomcat CP, Apache DBCP jar files are added or removed from class path. And also we should add what, guys? Add Oracle UCP jar files to class path. Fine. What's the next question, guys? If we place all the 4 data source related dependencies at a time in Spring Boot application, then what happens? As per algorithm, priority As per algorithm priority, the Ikari CP data source will be taken for what? Auto configuration. Data source algorithm in Spring Boot 1.x. The algorithm what I have given so far is in 2.x and 3.x. In 1.x, at that time Ikari CP is not released to the market, guys. First priority to Tomcat CP. Second one, third one, fourth one, Apache DPCP to Apache DBCP. Two different things are there. So at that time, Tomcat CP was having higher priority, but it is in 1.x, not in 2.x and 3.x. The industry standard data source having for JDBC connection pool is what? JDBC API cannot be used to interact with what? NoSQL database software. It is purely given to interact with what, guys? SQL database software. Okay. This is the story, guys. Okay, by 2.x and 3.x is using one algorithm towards picking up the data source. But now I'm going to our internal source. Whenever starters are added to Spring Boot application, how this at the rate enable auto configuration annotation picks up the classes from the jar files, okay, and makes them as Spring Beans of auto configuration. That's $1 million question that is eating your brain or not, guys? Shall we go to details of that? Look at this question, guys. How does at the rate enable auto configure annotation of Spring Boot application annotation knows which classes are currently added jar file should be configured as Spring Beans through configuration process. What process, guys? What process, guys? Auto configuration process. What process, guys? Auto configuration process. Tell me, the at the rate enable auto configuration annotation searches for Spring.factory file. What file, guys? Spring.factories file in meta-nf folders of all the jar files added to class path, but finds in which file, which jar file? Auto configuration version.jar file. This file is internally linked with another file called meta-nf slash spring slash, what is this? Auto configuration dot imports. Okay, first you find out those files, guys. Go to event dependencies, come on. Yeah, there. What is there, guys? Go to event dependencies. After that, what next? Go to event dependencies. Come on, guys. Spring-boot auto configure. Spring-boot auto configure. Right. Spring-boot not test. Where we can see, guys, Spring-boot auto configure. Where, guys? Not there, na? Yeah, Spring-boot auto configure is there. In that one, what is the folder we are looking for? Meta-nf, right? In this meta-nf, what is the file we are looking for? Spring.factories. This file is linked with what, guys? This file is linked with what, guys? Slash spring. What is this? Auto configuration dot imports file. Auto configuration dot imports file. Here lot of auto configuration classes are there, na boss? Lot of auto configuration classes are there. In that one, you can also see data source related auto configuration class was data source auto configuration class is there or not there, guys? Try to open that auto configuration class. All the beans that should come through auto configuration will be configured in this class using at the rate bean method. What method, guys? Like this, for every jar file, one or two auto configuration class names are there. Okay, it will go to those classes, picks up the at the rate bean method, executes them and makes them as spring beans. Okay, now let us open control plus shift plus T. Tell me, data source auto configuration, boss. What is this? Data source auto configuration. Are you getting my point? Super. Data source auto configuration. Okay, here lot of nested classes are there now, boss. Lot of nested classes are there. Yeah. Check it out, guys. Lot of nested classes are there and they are imported. Lot of other configuration classes are imported. Check it out. Tell me. At the rate import data source configuration dot hikari dot class. Click on F3, guys. In this static class, at the rate bean method is there. What method? At the rate bean method is there, returning what? Hikari data source object. Come on, guys. Okay. Go back. Similarly, Tomcat. At the rate bean method is there, returning what? Tomcat connection pool related object. Come on, my dear. Okay. Next, at the rate bean method is there, pointing to what? DBCP2, returning basic data source class object, my dear. Come on. So that means it will come to that class, takes all the classes, all the configuration classes, executes all the at the rate bean methods, and whatever objects written, they automatically become spring beans or not. This much hangama is going to happen whenever Spring Boot application is started to get the Spring Beans through auto configuration. Same thing is I documented here. Check it out. Yeah. At the rate enable auto configuration annotation searches for spring.factories file in meta.nf folder of all the jar files added to the class path. Finds in what? Auto configuration version.jar. This file is internally linked with what? Meta.nf slash spring slash auto configuration dot imports file. This file contains all the configuration classes that needs to be executed for auto configuration activity. Nearly how many classes? 144. Version to version will change, guys. All these configuration classes and their nested import configuration classes related at the rate bean methods execute to get the objects of Java classes as Spring Beans through what process, guys? Auto configuration classes. Through what process, guys? Spring Beans through auto configuration process. What process, guys? Through auto configuration process. Through auto configuration. Sample class names, guys. Data source auto configuration is there. JDBC template auto configuration is there. Come on. If you look at the data source auto configuration, there we have import statements or not, guys? There we have got import statements are not there, guys. I won't reply, my dear. All these are what? Nested configuration classes are not, guys. In that nested configuration classes, lot of at the rate bean methods are there or not there. And all these bean methods will execute whatever objects written, they automatically become Spring Beans or not, guys. So final conclusion is what? It searches for Spring.factories file that is linked with the auto imports file. In the auto import file, a lot of auto configuration classes are there. It execute all auto configuration classes, their nested configuration classes, imported configuration classes, right? In all those classes, a lot of at the rate bin methods are there. Come on, guys. And those methods will execute automatically. Those method return object automatically become Spring Beans or not? Those method return object automatically become Spring Beans or not, guys? Is that clear, my dear? I want reply wise. Super, guys. Short answer for interview. If someone asks you what, guys, a short answer. At the rate enable auto configuration searches for Spring.factories in meta in the folder of all the jar file and gets in auto config-version.jar file. This gets all the configuration classes to participate in auto configuration from auto configuration.imports file and executes all the at the rate bin methods of given configuration classes and their nested imported configuration classes. These at the rate bin method return objects become Spring Beans automatically. This is called auto configuration of Spring Beans. This is called what, guys? Auto configuration of Spring Bean. I hope you understood, guys. If you liked it, remember. If not liked it, ignore it. No one asked this question. If asked, you should know there is a process. What are the points we should remember? Spring.factories file linked with .imports file linked with the configuration classes. These configuration classes are linked with what? Imported configuration classes, nested configuration classes. All these classes are having lot of at the rate bean method. They executed returned object. Those returned objects become Spring Bean as part of auto configuration. Simple theory. What are the point? Spring.factories file linked with auto imports file. In that file, lot of configuration classes are there. That class is linked with lot of nested configuration classes, imported configuration classes. In all these configuration classes, lot of at the rate bean methods are there which will execute automatically. These methods return object automatically becomes what? Spring Bean. And those objects, we say they are acting as what? Spring Beans through auto configuration. Okay, let it be, guys. How can you prove all these are right statements are? Okay, 1 minute. Go to the main class, guys. Go to the main class, guys. Tell me here, what is there? Yeah, we have direct methods, guys. Let's see that. We have direct methods. Let's observe this. String array bean IDs. ctx dot get bean definition names. Okay, guys. Sysout all bean IDs arrays dot toString. Arrays dot toString. What is there? Bean IDs. Arrays dot toString bean IDs. Okay. Karan, clerk, salary 9,000, department number 10. Okay, look at these guys. Bean IDs, very lengthy numbers will come. So many are coming or not? 1 minute. If I print like this, you don't understand its importance. Copy, guys. Copy this, my dear. Say paste. These many things are coming or not, guys? That means whatever jars we have added, jars related auto configuration classes related, at the rate bean methods are executed and they are becoming Spring Beans automatically or not, guys? Okay, just to yes. Look at this. Data source configuration $Hikari is coming or not coming? Okay, next. JDBC template. JDBC template is coming or not coming? That means beans are becoming Spring Beans through auto configuration activity or not, guys? So that is what I'm trying to prove over there, guys. Okay. Okay, guys. Now listen. This is how internals of the auto configuration and understanding the algorithm related to data source. My question is, I want to break this algorithm. By default, Hikari CP I don't like. If I ask for X, it should work for X. If I ask for Y, it should work for Y. I want to break this algorithm. For that purpose, you should write a special entry in application.properties file specifying the data source class name. That is spring.data source dot type is equal to, if you mention any data source class name and if you add relevant jar files to class path, only that connection pool will work and total algorithm will be broken. The total algorithm will be broken. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. Okay, check it out here. Popular standalone data sources are Hikari CP, Tomcat CP, Apache DBCP, Oracle CP, Apache DBCP, C3P0, Proxul, Vibur, Bronze CP. Many are there, guys. Many are there. Now the question is, 2.x is having. How to break the above algorithm and how can we use second data source directly without following the above algorithm? For that one, what should I do, guys? Spring dot data source dot type and you have to mention relevant class name or not. We have to mention relevant class name or not. Is it not interesting, Rababu? We have to mention relevant class name or not, guys. Let's try this. So right now, I have not mentioned anything. When I run the application, by default, it is coming with what, guys? Hikari CP is working or not, guys? So now I am going to this place. Now I am going to this place. Activate. What is this? Certain data source. Activate certain data source. Tell me, guys. Spring dot data source dot type is equal to You have to mention data source class name. Though all the jars are there, though algorithm is, I want to break the algorithm, I want to say my choice class acting as what? Default connection pool, guys. So I'm interested to see Oracle UCP as the connection pool. What is that? Oracle UCP related connection pool, guys. Okay, 1 minute. You go to jar file that is added, guys. But here one headache is there. That related data source class name you should know and you should mention. Because we got lot of data source class names now, boss. Go to, where is this, guys? Maven dependencies, guys. This is UCP.jar, guys. Come on. This is UCP.jar. Tell me here what is there. UCP.jdbc dot. Can you help me? What is the class name, guys? Any idea? Pooled data source IMPL, it seems. I'm assuming pooled data source IMPL, it seems. Okay. How to get the class name along with the package name? Copy qualified name. Yes. When you take copy qualified name, you will get along with the package name. You will get along with the package name. Oracle.ucp.jdbc. Pooled data source IMPL. What IMPL, guys? Pooled data source IMPL. Is that clear, my dear? Come on. Super, guys. Tell me here what is there, guys. Let's run the application. So Ikari CP jar is there. Other jars are there. It will make what? Oracle UCP related connection pool, guys. Here is my Java application. Enter name, Karan. Kiran. Designation, what is there? Salesman. Salary, what is there? 70,000. Department number, this. What is the connection pool class we got, guys? That means I am able to break the algorithm or not, guys? Even though Ikari CP jar is there, but still it is giving priority to our jar file. Whatever class I have chosen, that is acting or not, guys? But interesting part, in this list, not only you can mention algorithm related data source class, some new connection pool classes also you can mention. What is that? You can also make our choice connection pool class as the default connection pool, guys. If you don't mention, by default it is taking Ikari CP1, right? By mentioning this class name, I am able to take my choice one. But here, not only you can mention algorithm related data source classes, we can also mention what? Some third party, some other connection pool related data source classes. Check it out, guys. Okay, first of all, I am going to pom.xml, boss. Here I am adding, there is one more popular connection pool called C3P0. What is that? It is not part of any algorithm, guys. C3P0, but it is also a bit popular connection pool in Hibernate class environment. I'm selecting the jar, guys. Okay. I added this jar file. I saved it. I added this jar file, I saved it. Go to Maven dependencies. Here is my what? C3P0. Here is my what, guys? Combo pooled data source. What is that? Combo pooled data source. Yes, we got it, guys. Here is my application.properties now, boss. Come on. Copy this, paste it. Copy this, paste it. Here I am pasting the combo pooled data source name, guys. Oh, Actually, I copied one more time. Huh? Copy qualified name, guys. That's it. Say paste. Dot m change dot something, guys. Some class name. Combo pooled data source. One headache is there. Knowing these class names is your responsibility. That you will get from documentation only or with experience, guys. Okay. So now this application runs with Ikari CP connection pool or C3P0 connection pool. Because I broken the algorithm, I mentioned my choice class name. Check it out. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, guys. Tell me. Designation, president, salary 89, this one, department number 20. Yeah, tell me here what is running? Combo fold. Combo fold means what? We are able to break the algorithm or not? Check it out the question and answer now. How to break the above algorithm? How can we use certain data source directly without following the above algorithm? Specify data source type. If I mention Tomcat CP related data source class, application will run with Tomcat CP. If I specify what? Oracle UCP data source class, application will run with Oracle UCP. If I mention combo pooled data source class, application will run with what? Here we can specify any data source class name which is part of data source algorithm or which is not part of what? Data source algorithm. Part of data source algorithm means what? Hikari CP, Tomcat CP, Apache DBCP to Oracle UCP. Not part of data source algorithm means what? C3P0, Proxul, Vibur and etc. But we should add relevant jar files to class path or not, guys? You must add relevant jar files to class path or not, guys? Added in Spring Boot 3.x, guys. Okay, fine. How can we make a Spring Boot application working with other than data source algorithm, data sources or connection pool? Same question in one more angle. How can we use a C3P0, Proxul, Vibur, etc. JDBC connection pool in Spring Boot application? Same question in one more angle or not, guys? I don't want to work with algorithm specific data sources. I want to use other than algorithm data sources. Answer number one. Configure relevant data source class as Spring Bean using @bean method by adding jar file. Okay, answer number one. Add the jar file, you go for @bean method. This is one answer. Please remember. But this much hard work is not required. Just now I have shown, mention that class name in spring.data source.type, it will work automatically. That is answer number one. Okay. Answer number two. Okay, this is also relevant answer, guys. Come on. Okay. This time what we are doing? We are keeping in application.properties, getting all of them to environment object, and while creating combo pooled data source object, we are not body coding, we are trying to collect from where? Properties file. Both are one and the same. Okay. Answer number two. What is answer number two, guys? Specify relevant data source connection pool related data source class name in application.properties as the value of what key? Spring.data source type key. And it's the best because it is easy, guys. It's the best because it is easy. You can do that or you can do this. Okay, first let me make sure that I have not mentioned this, guys. I commented this. Okay, then go to main class, my dear. Go to main class, my dear. In this main class, what I'm going to do? To tell that answer one is also working, I am proving it. But no need of taking that pain. In the type property, you mention the data source class name, it will work, guys. Public, what is this? Combo pooled. What is there? Combo pooled data source. Tell me. Create C3P0DS. Create C3P0DS. What is there? Throws exception. Throws exception. Tell me. At the rate bean name is equal to C3P0DS. Tell me, guys. Combo pooled data source. CDS is equal to, come on, new combo pooled data source. CDS dot, come on, set driver class name. CDS dot set driver class name. Instead of hard coding, better to collect from where? Properties file. But you know that everything of the property file will be stored into what object, guys? Environment object, right, guys? Okay. At the rate auto. Super, guys. Yeah, here is my env dot get property spring dot data source dot. What is this? Driver hyphen class hyphen name. CDS dot set URL. What URL, guys? Set URL. Spring dot data source dot. What is there, guys? In application dot properties, what is that? URL. CDS dot set username, right, guys? Set user. Tell me. Spring dot data source dot. What is there, guys? Username. CDS dot set password. What is there? Set password. Tell me. Spring dot data source dot password. Spring dot data source dot password. Return CDS. Are you getting my point there, guys? Control plus shift plus O. Okay, tell me, my dear, is there any type property today? Okay. Is there any type property? Not there. So what is the default data source that should activate receive? But whenever at the rate bin is there, having some data source, it will dominate default data source. It will dominate default data source. Now you run the application. What's the name, guys? Rohit. Designation clerk. Salary 9,000. Department number 10. Combo pooled data source only came na, boss? Okay, that means though starter is added, Icarus data source is active. If we configure any at the rate bean method pointing to data source, that will dominate Icarus CP data source or not, guys? That will dominate Icarus CP data source or not, guys? So final conclusion is what, guys? If you want to work with other than other than algorithm data sources, either you configure relevant one as at the rate bean method, or you mention data source class name for which property? Spring dot data source dot type property. So specifying to type property is quite easy or not, guys? Specifying to type property is quite easy or not, guys? Super. Okay. When Spring Boot starter JDBC is added to class path, what is the default data source we get? Hikari CP data source. Clear, my dear? Come on. If @bean method of main class is giving non-data source algorithm data source object, then Spring Boot application which data source object? @bean one only na boss. Come on. @bean method generated data source object will override or dominate the data source algorithms data source. Okay. Or Spring dot data source dot type dot data source. 1 minute, guys. So this time what I do is, in the type I mentioned Tomcat CP. In the type I mentioned Tomcat CP. In the main method, what is there? C3P0 is there. So now tell me which one will work, guys? C3P0 will work. @bean will dominate default data source algorithm Hikari data source or specifically highlighted data source. @bean is there means always it will get the priority. Check it out, guys. These are quite depth discussions, guys. Still it is working with combo pooled data source or not? It is still working with combo pooled data source or not? What do you say, guys? See the answer here. @bean method generated data source object will override or dominate the data source algorithms. What? Data source or Spring dot data source type property data source. If both are there, @bean will get the higher priority. Are you getting my point there, guys? Super. How to specify minimum pool size, maximum pool size, and other additional properties while working with what? Hikari CP JDBC connection pool. Don't worry, boss. We have some properties specific to Hikari. Spring dot data source dot Hikari dot maximum pool size, minimum idle, keep alive time. That means used or not used or this much time connection object should be alive. This is in milliseconds, guys. Don't worry. This is in what? Milliseconds. Like this, we have additional entries to specify or not, guys. And we can mention similar properties for Hikari CP, Tomcat CP, Apache DB CP, and Aracle UCP. How to get them, sir? Okay, guys. Tell me. Spring Boot common properties. Spring Boot common properties. Control F. Tell me. Spring dot data source dot. Tell me, guys. Spring dot data source dot Hikari dot. See, related to Hikari, so many properties are there or not there? So many additional properties are there. Similarly, Tomcat, a lot of properties are there. Next, DBCP2, lot of properties are there or not there, guys? Next, UCP, Spring dot data source dot. Tell me. UCP not there, How come? Aracle UCP, Aracle UCP is there or not there, guys? So you can mention additional properties related to data sources by collecting from this list, na? Minimum connection objects, maximum connection objects, how much time connection object should be in live state. Such properties can be mentioned happily like this or not there. Okay. So that is about this information, guys. All the properties are given. Tomcat related, all the properties are given. Okay. Now the question is, now listen everyone. Whenever I go for auto configuration, it is making lot of classes as Spring Beans. In that one, I am using 1, 2 classes only. Remaining classes are wasted. Can we make auto configuration not to involve those classes as part of auto configuration activity? Yes, possible. In @enable auto configuration, there is a provision to work with exclude. What, guys? In that exclude, those classes related configuration class you have to mention so that those configuration classes will not participate in what? Auto configuration activity. Is it not interesting, Rababu? For example, when I add Spring Boot starter JDBC, I am going to get Ikari's data source, JDBC template, named parameter JDBC template, driver manager data source, but I am going to use only Ikari CP only, na? Remaining all are waste, but still they are coming through auto configuration. I don't want to see they are coming. I don't want to see they are involved in what? Auto configuration activity. So what can I do this? When we add Spring-boot-starter JDBC, we get multiple classes as Spring Beans through auto configuration process. These three are waste or not, guys? If we feel we don't need these Spring Beans as part of auto configuration process, we need to take exclude. We need to take exclude then in auto configuration process using exclude attribute of @Spring Boot application annotation. @Spring Boot application annotation. You want to see that, guys? Come to this, boss. Here. What is the option I am going to use, guys? Okay, before excluding, let me prove that those classes are coming through auto configuration. Let's run the application. What is the need of running application? I already pasted na. Okay, in that one, JDBC template class is there. JDBC template is coming or not? Next, named parameter JDBC template. Named parameter JDBC template is also coming now, boss. Come on. Okay, next. Driver manager. Okay, these two classes I want to exclude, guys. Right. Okay, come here. Exclude is equal to JDBC template auto configuration dot class. JDBC template auto configuration dot class. Open its source code, guys. F3. Open its source code, guys. In that one, JDBC template configuration, named template. You open this name JDBC template configuration, guys. In that one, JDBC template is coming through auto configuration or not, guys? And here is what? Named parameter JDBC template is coming through auto configuration or not? I want reply, guys. Named parameter JDBC template is coming through auto configuration or not, guys? I want reply from you people. Come on, everyone. Named parameter JDBC template, guys. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay, now what I do is I will run the application freshly. I'm emptying this window. I'm emptying this window, guys. Let me run the application freshly here. Name Rohit, designation clerk, salary 90,000, 10. Salary 90,000, 10, guys. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I should wait for bean IDs, huh? Wait a minute. I must wait for bean IDs. Let's wait for the bean IDs. Why it is not coming? Oh, okay. Here don't worry about the exception handling, guys. Copy this, come to this, paste. Copy this, come to this, paste. Control F. JDBC template. This time error, na? This time error. That means JDBC template is not coming to auto configuration. My theory and practical is matching or not matching, boss? Named parameter JDBC template. It is not interesting or not, boss? This is very, very interesting. Auto configuration is giving so many classes which are unnecessarily in my project. I need only 2-3 classes, but it is giving 10-20. How to exclude those classes? Take those classes related configuration class, specify in what? Exclude attribute of Spring Boot application annotation. Sir, why Spring Boot application annotation? Spring Boot application annotation internally consists of what? @enable auto configuration annotation. That means we have some control on auto configuration activity or not, guys? If we feel auto configuration is making both necessary and unnecessary classes as Spring Bean, somewhat we can control unnecessarily classes coming as Spring Beans. Come on or not? Somewhat we can control unnecessarily classes coming as Spring Beans or not, guys? That is for that one. What is the annotation we should use? Spring Boot application annotation. What is the parameter we should use? Exclude is the parameter we should use. Is it not interesting aspect, guys? Everyone convinced with me or not, guys? Super, guys. So with this, we completed a lot of discussion related to data sources, internals of auto configuration, and how to get control on auto configuration. How to get control on auto configuration? Exclude option. What option, guys? I hope you enjoyed this internals class, guys. Super, boss. Let us share the document now. Yeah, where is this, guys? What's your batch code? 11 a.m. 16.8, right? 11 a.m. 16.8. Here is what? Spring Boot core. File upload. Where is this, guys? 1102, right? Your batch code is 1102. Spring Boot core. Where is this guys? More on data source. When you have multiple configuration classes, can we pass configuration class to parameter of annotation constructor during Somesh Pandya, you pass one configuration class, link that other configuration class to main configuration class using @import. In container creation, come on. In container creation, how many configuration classes we can pass? One. But if you want to pass multiple configuration classes, what you should do? You have to link other configuration class to main configuration class by using @import. Azhar Sheikh, you are getting problem, huh? Okay, very simple. Your MySQL is not installed properly or not started properly, or during installation you have given wrong some username password and you forgot and giving wrong username or wrong password. So check your side. Or what is the day? What is the file, guys? File upload. What is the date? 15th. More on auto configuration. Replace the existing file. Yeah. Thank you, guys. We'll meet tomorrow and we'll talk more on this. Tomorrow 9 o'clock, what session is there? DevSecApps Tools session is there. Thank you.